It's always nice to have some positive Star Wars news, and over the last few hours, there have been some developments which suggest we're going to be getting some kind of announcement very shortly. Well-known insider Jeff Snyder, on the Hot Mic podcast, was asked the question, when are we getting some more Star Wars news, specifically Star Wars movie news, and to be more precise, Rey's Jedi Order film. In response, he said he wouldn't be surprised if there is an announcement sometime later this very month, and that they've cast some of the primary leads outside of Daisy Ridley herself. To this end, over the last few weeks, he's been strongly hinting that Adam Driver is going to return, cast as Ben Solo, either as a Force ghost or revived due to the Force dyad that he shares with Rey. So it sounds as though this announcement could pertain to some big casting news that will be unveiled sometime soon. And outside of the movies concerning the Disney Plus shows, The Bad Batch Season 3 is coming sooner than you think. It's most likely going to be the first series of 2024. The official Star Wars X account posted that we're entering the last month of 2023, along with a gif of Tech and Omega, which could be hinting at something. And not just this, just hours later, Jennifer Corbett, writer, showrunner, and producer, hinted that the third and final season is coming very soon. In a post where she shared a picture of herself, alongside others who work on the show like David Collins and Brad Rao, she wrote that the final mix session for Season 3 has now been completed, and this could mean a trailer is imminent. Responding to Jennifer Corbett's tweet, we have Nasir Dalal, who voices Rampart. Now, as I pointed out in my last Bad Batch video, he stated he is not going to be in Season 3, and now he says this, "I just need to know that someone takes out Chuchi on my behalf." He's talking about Ryo Chuchi. I think that's perfectly reasonable. So he's responding as the Imperial himself, wanting revenge on the beloved Pantoran senator, who was all for clone rights. And Jennifer replies with a funny gif from The Office. I have a lot of questions. Number 1, how dare you? How dare you indeed? I want to see more of Ryo's antics. Fighting in the Senate for the clones. And that's why I've been saying for a while now, I would love to see another show that connects the events of the Bad Batch to Star Wars Rebels from the point of view of Captain Rex. I recently theorized that the Bad Batch Season 3 would release sometime in the spring, maybe even a May 4th special, but there is now a good chance it releases earlier in the new year, and we have every reason to believe it's going to be the first show amongst the many that are releasing in 2024. And with subtle teasers like this, it's a very good sign it's not as far away as we think. You would assume at this stage Disney and Lucasfilm are preparing at the very least to announce the schedule for 2024 series. And I suppose more than anything, Star Wars fans want to know when we can expect the various pieces of promised content, and having concrete dates, or at least ballpark estimates, is a great way to build excitement and fan dialogue to market the numerous shows. I have every hope the new year is going to be a great one for our favourite galaxy, and it also marks a new beginning for the sort of stories we're about to experience. Whether it's The Acolyte, which is a departure in and of itself, exploring a new era at the end of the High Republic, or Skeleton Crew, which promises an 80s Amblin feel, all while taking place in the Mandalorian timeline, and the Bad Batch Season 3, which is going to be the last season of the Clone Wars spin-off. Fans want to know what's next for Star Wars animation. We know at some stage we're getting a third season of Star Wars Visions, with once again presumably a wide assortment of animation style in studios. We're also getting Tales of the Jedi Season 2, and check out my most recent video for the latest on that. But what about the next stage for whoever survives the Bad Batch Season 3? Are we going to get more continuations of the Clone Wars story, as the timeline progresses into the Imperial era and the original Trilogy era? I'm sure Dave Filoni has more series lined up. That could be a massive announcement coming. But in the meantime, I think they're going to stick to the shows that are already announced. But keep your eyes peeled, the Bad Batch Season 3 is definitely on the way. I'll be reporting on all of the latest as it drops, and again, I can't wait to get back into the episode breakdowns, the theories and speculation. And on that subject, before we move on to our next topic, please be sure to hit the big red subscribe button down below if you've not done so, and why not give the bell a good old ring to be alerted every time that I post a new video. We do daily Star Wars content, you don't want to miss any updates. So our next piece of news ties into the first. We're going to be talking about Adam Driver, who's been far more open about his Star Wars experience in recent times. It's very well known that he said he would return to Star Wars if the script was good, if the timing was right. Well, according to Jeff Snyder, that could very well be the case for the 2026 Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy Rey's Jedi Academy movie. But in terms of the sequel trilogy, in a new interview he talked about the one scene that haunts him to this day. It was something he almost regretted filming in The Force Awakens. Here's the headline: Adam Driver talks major Kylo Ren moments Star Wars fans keep mentioning to him. And as you're gonna see, he's spot on. Fans to this day make this one complaint about Episode 7. Variety say this: while Adam Driver was hardly an unknown name to Hollywood prior to 2015, there's no question that Star Wars The Force Awakens significantly boosted his profile. As you see when you go through the Star Wars films, Driver plays Kylo Ren in all 3 sequel trilogy entries, reverting back to the light side as Ben Solo in Episode 9 The Rise of Skywalker. But 4 years later, Driver continues to be reminded of his time in Star Wars by fans every single day, and one of the biggest moments in Episode 7 was when Kylo Ren kills Han Solo, his father. Adam Driver said this: somebody reminds me about that every day. Well, not every day. It used to be more, but now it's probably once a month. Someone will let me know I killed Han. And as you guys know, it's very well reported that Harrison Ford didn't really like Han Solo, the character he's arguably the most famous for, apart from maybe Indiana Jones. And so in Episode 7, he wanted Han Solo to be killed off. But Adam Driver doesn't like the fact his character Kylo Ren was the one to do it. And to this day, fans are still really upset that we didn't get to see a full reunion between Luke, Han and Leia. We did see Han and Leia in The Force Awakens, then we saw Luke and Leia in The Last Jedi, but all 3 together after the original trilogy, that hasn't really happened. They might decide to do this in some kind of CG deepfake way in The Mandalorian story. I remember shooting that day, and it didn't feel like that at all. John Williams wasn't playing in the background, and it was very emotional actually, shooting it with Harrison. Harrison was so generous and contemplative, and to me that was a great moment on set actually, even though it was his death. He loved working with Harrison, but he didn't like the aftermath of the fact J.J. Abrams had his character kill off the most iconic smuggler in all of Star Wars. It is important to mention that while Harrison Ford wanted Han Solo to die, going as far back as Return of the Jedi, it wasn't as though he mandated the character's ultimate fate as a condition for reprising the role. Rather, J.J. Abrams spoke with him, as well as Kathleen Kennedy, and they all made that decision together. Bob Iger even had a say. In any case, the final chapter of Han's story unfolded in The Force Awakens. But with that said, my dear friends, that brings us to the end of today's Star Wars news update. Did you have fun? Did you enjoy it? Let me know your thoughts down below. Please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.